Hello, my name is Duncan Moss, and I'm a lay minister here in Verwood, and this is my thought for this coming week. Today is Remembrance Sunday, and we as a country are encouraged to think of those who have given their lives serving this country, especially our military. So today, what better than to talk about the time when Jesus met a military man and what then happened? The military man was a centurion who was in charge of 100 soldiers and part of the Roman forces who were occupying that region in that day. He had a servant who was very ill at his house, and he asked Jesus, who was passing, to heal him. Jesus agreed and set off to visit the home of the centurion, but the centurion said, "Lord, don't trouble yourself, for I do not deserve to have you come under my roof. But say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I tell this one, go, and he goes, and that one, come, and he comes." When Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said, "I tell you, I have not found such great faith, even in Israel." And the servant was healed at that very hour. From this story it is clear that this soldier was a kind man and very concerned for the well-being of one of his servants. In Roman law, a servant was considered to be an asset who had no rights whatsoever. So it was the recommended practice for servants to be thrown out to die when they passed their use-by date. But the attitude of this centurion to his servant was quite different. Although a tough Roman soldier, who no doubt had seen many a man die, he could not sit back and watch someone who he cared for suffer. Jesus was taken aback by his kindness, a kindness that forced him to do something about it. Not only that, the centurion had faith. The whole of this little story builds up to this conversation between Jesus and the centurion. Even the actual miracle itself seems to take second place to this conversation, in which the centurion showed remarkable faith. And that is what really moved Jesus. The centurion took for granted the fact that Jesus got his spiritual power from his obedience to the will of God, which of course was the case. What Jesus' own people, especially the leaders, had failed to grasp is that Jesus came with all the authority of God. The military man realized that. And that's what really Jesus admired and called great faith. He held him in very high regard despite being part of an occupying force. Indeed, Jesus' statement was clear that such people of great faith will be with him in the kingdom of heaven before many others. Being kind, humble, and of faith are noble attributes for anybody. But where those individuals have authority over others, it is even more important, especially those who are in the military. We should celebrate the fact that our country has armed forces that promote good quality like those demonstrated by that centurion 2,000 years ago. Those qualities of kindness and faith, as well as those other qualities of discipline and being prepared to die for our country if necessary, are qualities that Jesus admires. Indeed, Jesus said that there is no better demonstration of love than a man who lays down his life for his friends. Today we are honouring those who have done just that for our country. What is it like to sign your name to a piece of paper that could possibly mean the end of your life. To get onto a plane not knowing if you will come back again. To walk in full battle gear along a dusty road in enemy territory, as it was in the Middle East not so long ago, just not knowing. To say goodbye to your children for a long tour of duty. All that does demand honour. And of course we shouldn't forget also to honour families who stood by their husbands, wives, sons and daughters and others who make such a great sacrifice when their loved one serves. It is greatly encouraging to see that in the last few decades there has been an increase of awareness of the sacrifices that our armed forces have made. And that is why those 2 minutes of silence have been accepted as an important part of our national culture. We must not forget. Jesus won't be forgetting. Thank you for listening.